Happy Friday. It's time for First Chapter Friday again. And I decided I've been doing a bunch of fiction for a while, so it's time for nonfiction. Looked on my shelves. Guess what, everyone? It is really hard to find chapter books that are fiction, or nonfiction, sorry. On my shelves, most of my nonfiction are not chapter books. They are thinner books, and they might have sections, but they're not really chapter books with chapters. So today's pick is nonfiction, and I'm stretching the chapter bit a little bit. So it's called Never Too Young, 50 Unstoppable Kids Who Made a Difference by Aileen Weintrass and illustrated by Laura Horton. I picked this book because you're kids, and I want you to know that you can do amazing things even if you're a kid. So I decided that it's kind of like a chapter book because there's all of these people in here, and each one has their own section. They're not all together. So I'm going to read the introduction and then read about one of the kids. Even though it's just a page, you'll still get the idea. Introduction. Have you ever felt like you're too young to do something? That may be true in some ways. You're probably too young to drive a car. Yeah, you are. Or own a house. Also true. But you're definitely not too young to make a difference. In this book, you'll meet famous musicians, writers, scientists, athletes, and activists who could accomplish great things by the time they were 18. These amazing kids changed the world by coming up with new inventions, making art and music, competing in sports, and speaking out about important issues. Some of these kids were alive hundreds of years ago. Others are still wowing people with their talents today. Some of the fascinating kids you'll learn about include a 7-year-old surgeon, a girl who fought for her right to go to school, a rock sensation, an eagle huntress, a soccer legend, and an Olympic gold medalist. You'll also read about a young movie star, a deaf and blind girl who overcame many obstacles, and a boy who builds electronics out of scrap metals. Are you ready to be impressed and inspired? Turn the page to find out more about 50 of the most spectacular kids you'll ever meet. Kind of like that. So the first one is Ruby Bridges, who was an activist as a young girl. I think you probably know the story of Ruby Bridges, so I want to introduce you to some of you who don't know. Yash Gupta, philanthropist. If you don't know what a philanthropist is, that means that a philanthropist is someone who raises money for organizations and donates a lot of things to charity. Okay? Yash Gupta. Yash Gupta was a 14-year-old practicing Taekwondo. Sorry, let me read that again because the phrasing didn't sound right. Yash Gupta was a 14-year-old practicing Taekwondo when all of a sudden his glasses got smashed. While he waited for his new pair to arrive, everything was blurry. He had a hard time seeing the blackboard in school, and he had trouble keeping up with his work. That's when he realized that without glasses, it was almost impossible for him to learn. Yash was happy when his glasses were fixed, but he couldn't stop thinking about what it was like to live without glasses. After doing research, he found out that there were over 13 million kids in the world who didn't have money to buy glasses. How could they learn at school if they couldn't even see? Yash also discovered that millions more people throw away perfectly good pairs of glasses each year when they get new prescriptions. This gave him an idea. He looked around his house and found more than 10 pairs of old glasses. That's when Yash came up with a plan to create Sight Learning, a nonprofit organization that collects and distributes eyeglasses to students in need around the world. As Yash learned, students who can see are able to make the most of their education. With his father's help, Yash contacted local eye doctors and asked if he could leave boxes at their front desks so people could donate their old glasses. Soon after that, Yash began traveling to poor countries to fit children for glasses. Since 2010, Sight Learning has collected and donated over $16 million worth of eyeglasses. They have given these glasses to students in countries throughout the world, including Haiti, Mexico, Honduras, and India. Yash knows that helping children see is the best way to make sure they have a bright future. So here's an illustration of Yash. He was born in 1996, so you can figure out how old he is now. But when he started doing this program, he was 14. So a kid making a difference right there. Gotta love it. This book is full of them. And so you saw how there is quite a lot of information about it. So it's, to me, there's almost like a chapter's worth, right? And every page is a new kid, right? For all different reasons. Sports, activists, entertainers, philanthropists, chess champions. So again, never too young. If you're looking for some good biographical nonfiction, this one might be interesting for you because it's all about kids. Happy Friday.